What up, people, and good morning. I am Dwayne Langham. This is the Ave, Yolo Ave, the road least traveled. And you have just tuned in for another exciting conversation. What do I want to cover? Well, what I'm going to first share with you is a concept called 100% zero. Let's go. So 100% zero. What do I mean by that? 100% zero. Well, let's start with the facts. They're completely opposite of the spectrum. 100% for every 100. What is your percentage? 100. Full out. All in. Everything you got. 100%. And then zero. The complete opposite. The absence of. So what is 100% zero? What's that about? How does that make sense, huh? Okay, so let's dig it out. We're talking about relationships. In relationships, the ordinary way of thinking is for everyone to bring a half full cup, for everyone to bring something to the table. Have you heard that before? Have you been looking for a partner out there to bring something to help complete you, to help finish you, to help your life, to take things to the next level so you guys can partner up? Wow. Yeah, you connect with that. Okay, so now realize, has that worked for you? Has that left you where you want to be? Why? Because it's ordinary. I'll tell you what actually happens. We're human beings. We're not perfect. So where does that leave you? You're talking about bringing half to the table. You're talking about meeting up, putting what you've got out there, putting what they've got out there, and then making something happen, making a relationship. Well, what does that really look like? Here's the reality of what that looks like. You're bringing 50% to the table. They're bringing 50% to the table. You got the whole thing, right? It adds up to 100 at least, right? Okay, but let's look a little deeper. You've heard about the 5 love languages. If you haven't, go look that book up. 5 love languages. Teach you how to actually give people what they need in life. Talk to their love. So you bring your 50% to the table. They bring their 50% to the table. All laid out. Somebody's good with finances. Somebody's good with kids. Somebody's got aspirations and dreams to keep you guys moving forward. Somebody's about connectedness and relationships and feelings and emotions. You balance out the yin and yang. Everything's good, right? Right. Wrong. Because see, your 50 is only interpreted as 45, 40. Why? Because that's the human nature. It's always not going to be enough. The ego is always going to be saying conflict, what you need, what the problem is, what they need to work on, what they need to do better. What's the problem with your partner? Why they're not good enough for you. It's just human nature, people. You guys can be perfect. You can be giving just what's needed. But it's open to interpretation. When you bring 50% and expect them to bring 50%, because what happens when you bring your 50%, but you perceive that they're bringing 40, 45? Hell, what does it look like when you bring your 50% and they bring their 50%? Well, your 50% is only coming if their 50% is coming to make that 100. Man, if I think about it, that sounds like conditions. Are you about conditional love? Are you looking for conditional love in your life? Is that what you're setting out for in your relationships? Conditional relationships? You see, God doesn't love you conditionally. God didn't give that relationship conditionally. And yeah, you don't hear me typically talk about God, but it's the best example of unconditional love. Now you're getting the idea of what I mean when I say 100% zero. So when you drop that conditional love, you can get so much more. But let me also finish telling you about the fallacies of bringing 50% to the table, making a relationship that's 50-50. So you bring your 50 on the condition that they bring their 50, and they bring their 50 on the condition that you bring your 50. But to you, their 50% don't look quite right. Their 50% looks like 48. They're not still doing that thing. Yeah, you thinking about it right now. Okay. So what happens? They're giving 48. Well, hell, this is conditional love, people. I'm ordinary. So if they're giving 48, best believe I'm only going to give 45. Oh, man. What's that picture looking like? We don't have 100% no more. We've got conditional love. We've got 48 and 45. Now we got 95% of a relationship. How does that work? You getting me? You getting me? You feel that? And if you don't, stay along for the ride because I can't slow down. So now that you're giving that 45, 48, well, wait a minute. They see that you're giving 45, but to them, that looks like about, 37. Let me dial it back. I'm only going to give 35 if that's all they got. Are you feeling me, people? Okay, so now we got a relationship. You still up here at 45 and they're down to 37. Nah, that ain't right. If that's all you got for me, if that's all the love you got for me, well, I'm going to dial it back 30. Do you see this vicious cycle? Do you see what I'm talking about? What kind of relationship is that? What kind of love is that? You're in a relationship for love. What do we all want in life? Love. Love is unconditional. Love is perfect. And even when whoever is being loved is not perfect, unconditional love is perfect to make it perfect, to love enough for the both of us. Do you feel that? Do you feel that? Yes. Now you're being bigger. Now you're playing a bigger game. Now you're talking about unconditional love. So let's get back to that. Now that you see my point, what does 100% zero look like? What do the relationships in your life look like when you're giving 100% and allowing them to be a human being, even if they can only give zero? That's right. Now don't get me wrong, you have to value yourself. You have to give yourself 100% because you don't want to put yourself vulnerable to a situation where you're not really getting what's good for you in your life. Don't force anything that's not a match, that's not balanced to the degree of yin and yang, that you sync up. But after you get that out of the way, after you're whole and complete, when you bring that full cup to the table, the relationship looks completely different. And then you can really find out if it's really going to work, if it's really meant to be. Again, we're not even just talking about love and partnerships. We're talking about parents. We're talking about kids. We're talking about bosses. We're talking about friends, colleagues, associates, acquaintances. Think about that. What does that really look like when you go through your life living so powerfully that no matter what someone else is giving in the relationship, you're giving 100%? How big is that? How big of a game are you playing? How big is your relationship going to be? Now, from that perspective, you evaluate, not on condition that they need to bring anything because you've brought 100%, but now you evaluate, can you continue in the relationship? Does this relationship work for you? Not is it good, not is it bad, not is it right, not is it wrong. Can it work for you for what you want out of life in a relationship? Because you would have to do so moving forward, sustaining that you give it 100%, that you bring unconditional love to the table. And when you do that, let me tell you the secret of what that opens up. If you're always giving 100%, you can face it when your partner is only giving 15 because they're depressed. You can face it when your partner can only give 40 because they're sick, because they're tired, because they need some downtime, because they're human, because they simply forgot something that was important to you. When you give them unconditional 100% love, because that's what you're a stand for in the relationship, what kind of relationship do you have the ability to have? Now tell me this, the simple concept of reciprocity, people. When you're giving somebody 100%, when they see, you don't have to say it. This doesn't have to be a term of ultimatum. They don't have to sign up and do it with you. You enroll them into doing it with you simply by who you are being. You're being 100% love, simply by virtue of reciprocity as human beings. By nature, we're programmed. If someone is giving you 100% love in the face of everything, forgiveness, compassion, being 100% unconditional love with you, what are you going to want to do back? Someone's giving you 100% love. Do you really want to go through life being the person giving 50? Come on now. You have to step your game up. It's only natural. If right now that partner that you're thinking about was giving you 100% love, not just the 50, let me bring myself to the table. Let me put something on the table and see what we can stack up together. No, if they brought you 100% unconditional love, what would you give back? Ooh, yeah. What does the world start looking like? What does your world start looking like? What do your relationships start looking like when that happens? Now, my friends, you get it. Now you see 100% zero and the power behind it. Just a little nugget, people. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it meant something for you. There'll be much more to come. Like I said, this is a relationship series. I ask you, I challenge you, I invite you to come along to make your relationships an amazing ride. When you start giving 100% unconditional love in the face of even zero. Because when that's the stand that you're being, when that's the possibility you're creating in your relationship, what kind of relationships can you have? Powerful ones. So go forward and be powerful, people. Take that into your relationships that matter to you, for the people that you care about, for your loved ones, for your friends. Remember that today is the best day of your life. Why is that? It's the only one you got, people. And as always, I love it when you like, share, and subscribe. Don't go share with your partner just because you want them to get it. No, you be 100% first. In the meantime, I wish you the best and only success. Peace. So when I talk about discipline, what I mean is the ability, the action of following a routine, sticking to the script, doing what you need to do, no matter what you think, no matter what you feel, following through in integrity to honor your word. Now, what does all that mean? Time to power up. You don't go through Super Mario, grab your mushroom. Power, as far as a human being, in my eyes, is best defined as the velocity at which thought, intention, or possibility can be manifested into reality.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I think you're beautiful. I think you're beautiful.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.